I am the founder and CEO of Heteron Biotechnologies. I'm a gastroenterologist. And in my company, we are now developing in vitro breath diagnostics for large markets of GI diseases, gastrointestinal, liver, and metabolic diseases, and some renal. Our mission is to create diagnostics that will replace the painful, invasive, and high-risk procedures, and with that, to make a dent in the incidence of diseases that affect hundreds of millions and billions of people worldwide, to lower healthcare costs with our low-cost devices, and to create wealth for whoever gives us money. To do this, we need to reinvent breath testing. And why do we need to do that? Because the breath testing so far has failed all the cohorts that we know need to have products like ours. We believe that, okay. Okay. So we believe that a breath test can be a successful diagnostic, and especially in our hands, because it's non-invasive, it's accessible, anyone can give a breath sample, accurate, available with our devices at point of care and over the counter. We can screen for diseases, especially chronic diseases. We can establish breath biomarkers that are very important for specific diseases, and we can empower patients to make decisions at home in the era of individualized medicine. How do we do this? This is a prototype device. This is not the final product, but it does the job. We are going to do this by taking the breath testing out of the centralized labs and placing it in the hands of the people who need it. Now, we're going to do this, of course, by producing smart, autonomous, that's the catchy word, standalone, handheld, breath analyzer devices that are disease-specific. We have the technology with which we make accurate, stable to operate at room temperature, for repeated tests and simple to operate by lay people. They provide results within about a minute and are low cost and reimbursable. We will sell them over the counter and at the point of care. Now, who benefits? What are the markets? We know the markets. I've taken care of these people for decades. First, we have the people with celiac disease and non-celiac gluten sensitivity. They do undergo a lot of invasive testing and endoscopic procedures throughout their life. These are the people with metabolic syndrome, high risk for heart disease, liver disease, and diabetes. This is just in the US. You can multiply that many times for the world over. These are the people, and they do undergo invasive testing and high-cost imaging studies. This is a cohort with people with, put them all together, carbohydrate malabsorption, and they do undergo multiple invasive tests. 1 billion people and rising. These are the people that have fatty liver disease due to obesity. Obesity rates go up. Fatty liver disease goes up. Now it's called MASLD, anyway, it's a new term. Without any way of predicting who is going to be in that 25% who are going to develop the metabolic dysfunction-associated steatohepatitis, which is a severe steatohepatitis that can lead to cirrhosis and cancer. They also undergo a lot of invasive tests and high-cost procedures and imaging studies. And lastly, 4.5 billion people, it's unfathomable, right? 4.5 billion people in the world, 2/3 of the world population that are infected with Helicobacter pylori, a treatable disease, that undergo testing with endoscopy procedures and blood tests, and the breath test that we're really going to replace. Both the cohort for the 200 million people and the 4.5 billion, there is a breath test that has failed these people. Now, the current diagnostics I alluded to, blood tests, imaging studies that are quite high cost, liver biopsy, high risk procedure, and endoscopic procedures with biopsies, and the breath test, which is an old technology, over a century old, even though it is effective in some ways, it has limited value. And of course, you need to go to a hospital or an institution or a laboratory to get it done. This is where I trained in GI, New York Hospital, 68th and York. Beautiful. Can we replace the current diagnostic tests? That's our plan. I believe we can replace the blood tests. I believe we can replace a large number of imaging studies, lowering the healthcare cost. We can replace a large number of invasive procedures, lowering cost there and alleviating suffering for the people. And to show you how badly the breath test, the current breath test has failed, in the US, with our healthcare system, only 1% of the people who need it get breath tested. Now, what is that gold standard? It's an excellent technology. Gas chromatography, mass spectroscopy. Universities have those equipment for research purposes. They evolved throughout the decades. In the 90s, one of our competitors, Quintron, came up with this smaller instrument for one gas, sold it for $5,000. The same company now has another one of those. They test 3 gases, and it costs $13,500. And here it's us with a less than $300 piece of equipment that we can do accurately, we can measure accurately where they can. How do we do this? We're interfacing medicine, chemistry, engineering, and AI, but I can tell you the reason why there is a product is because medicine leads the way. And I don't mean to be egotistical because I'm a gastroenterologist. However, we know the need. We know what our patients need. And in our company, we have integrated chemistry, very important, engineering, and recently, very happy to have AI to help us with our products to produce these smart handheld breathalyzer devices that will make the diagnosis. We choose chemical materials carefully to have high sensitivity and specificity with our sensors. We have, of course, electronics, machine learning capabilities to analyze our data, and wireless transmission. We have 6 products that we're developing. The left are the clinical stage validated products. The right is the R&D products. We aim, wow, I only have a minute. We aim to put all our products through FDA approval by 2027. Perhaps device D might need a few more months. These are some clinical data we got from our 3 devices. This is the first device, the celiac. You can see with principal component analysis, we can cluster the red are the celiac disease. These are pilot studies. These are not the final clinical studies. But with machine learning classification, we have 100% accuracy of our tests. On the right is the addressable market for each of those devices. This is our second device. This is for the 1 billion cohort that has the liver disease. We're trying to identify a biomarker to see who is going to be in that 25% to develop that very serious steatohepatitis. We have very good results, and actually this test, which is the first in the world, can be used for renal disease because it tests ammonia in breath. I'm very proud to announce this. This is the device for the infectious agent, the H. pylori. It's a handheld device. It's like the one I showed you in the picture. And we have not only the device, and you can see the PCA analysis and ML classification gives us, again, 100% accuracy. And we correlate 100% with that gold standard. But we now have a novel method of the breath test itself, which is much less expensive than the current. Now I have to go really fast. Oh, I have no more time. These are the R&D, 2 gases, 6 gases. Just to say a few words about this device. This is an extraordinary device. It's a breath, I call it the breath pad, because it's a tablet breathalyzer. It tests north of 30, it needs a lot of R&D, north of 30 gases, and it will be marketed to the healthcare providers. We have competitors. They're in the carb, malabsorption hydrogen. They're not like us. They don't have our capabilities. We have a competitive advantage over them because of our technology, because of in-depth knowledge and understanding of the need of the people that we service. And we have the team that has the expertise. and other things. This is a team, doctors and engineers, and we're looking for funding to take the 3 validated products through FDA clearance and begin sales. Thank you very much, and I'm sorry it took so long.